Guys, so in today's video, I want to cover a controversial topic, and that is why we need to cancel or get rid of these types of clients. So the category of clients that I'm talking about, these high maintenance clients, but it's not simply a case of saying, these clients, we don't want to be working for them. We need to really dig down and to understand why we don't want these clients and why it will impact our growth rate, why it will impact our scalability if we continue to serve these types of clients. So in my own cleaning business, we do this regularly. I would say it's every quarter. So every 3 months or so, we will look at our client list, and we, in conjunction with our office managers, will go through and pick out clients where we think, we've got some, maybe high maintenance clients in our books. Maybe they continually follow up with us, send lengthy emails, continually call us. Maybe they are unhappy, or maybe they are asking for additional things or changes to the checklist. Any client really where there is a lot of time consumed. The ideal client in my business is one which books in a standard service. So they have a 3-bedroom house, a weekly client. They want the same every week. There are no specific requirements. They just want the standard checklist. And the reason why that client is a great client is because having a client that wants the same type of service, the standard service, means that if we needed to get another cleaner to cover for illness or cover for vacation leave, then that would be easy. It also means that as you grow the business, it's very clear what that client needs doing. If you compare that with a high maintenance client with a lengthy checklist, it will mean that getting in another cleaner to cover will be a lot more difficult. There's more likely to be things that are missed because that covering cleaner will not be used to doing these checklists. They'll be used to doing the standard checklist. These clients will often need more time to manage them, manage their bespoke checklist. You will need to spend more time with your cleaners telling them of any additional changes as well. So as I said, in my cleaning business, every few months or so, we will look at the client checklist and the client list and identify those clients that we think are maybe taking up more of our time than ideal. At this point, the Pareto principle, the 80-20, is a great one to look at your business in terms of. So it is very likely that 20% of your clients will probably suck up 80% of your time or your office manager's time. 20% of your clients will probably give you 80% of your problems. And the reason why this is a really, really important thing to talk through is that it will directly impact the growth rate of your business. It will directly impact the scalability of your business, because if you think about it, you only have a finite amount of time in your day. Your office managers only have a finite amount of time every day. If they're spending a large chunk of their time dealing with these high maintenance clients, that time is being taken away from something else. Maybe your office managers, because they're on the phone for 20 minutes every week with this client, maybe they're not able to follow up as quickly on new leads. Maybe they're not following up with the previous day's leads. Maybe they're not able to put in that phone call, send those messages, send those emails, and that will impact the close rate from lead to client. So we need to look at our client list and make a call. It's not black and white, but I guarantee that if you look at your client list and you are involved with your cleaning company on a day-to-day basis, and your clients, which are the great clients, which are the easy clients, which are the higher maintenance clients, you will straight away, there will be certain clients that jump out of the page. What do we do once we identify these clients? We know that ideally we wouldn't be servicing these clients, that this is impacting our growth rate. It's taking away both our time, but our mental time, could be stressful. So it is far better that we find another client to replace that higher maintenance client, another client that just is happy to go with the standard service, than to continue to to serve these clients. So we want to phase out of these clients out of our business. And what you'll find is that as soon as you remove these clients out of your business, suddenly your time will get freed up. You will find other, maybe the time that you save, you do more marketing, so you very quickly replace your those clients with new clients, and clients that are paying the same amount of money, but they're not taking up all the time. That means that your company will grow much more quickly. So the question then becomes, okay, we've identified these high maintenance clients. How do we remove them away from the business? And I'm a strong believer that there is a right and a wrong way to do this. The wrong way to do this is maybe you have a high maintenance client that isn't happy with service, that is continually complaining. The worst thing that you can do is get involved with a tit for tat and say, okay, we're not cleaning for you, go and find another cleaning company. The reason why that is the wrong approach is that you do not want to run the risk of getting a bad review. An unhappy client, one of the first points of call, if they're not getting the response that they're looking for from their service provider, is to leave a bad review online. And that bad review is really something you want to completely avoid, if at all possible. So the way that we look at our high maintenance clients is twofold. So the first point is that if we decide that we do not want to serve this client, no matter how much that they're paying, it's just not worth our time, then we want to let go of that client, more gradually. Don't simply say, we're not serving you anymore. You could say something along the lines of, unfortunately, we no longer have availability in your zip code, or our cleaners are no longer available to clean for you. Make it a much softer conversation, a less antagonistic conversation, because if the client is unhappy, and you have said that unfortunately we've got no options, they will probably leave and go and try another company, and they will not leave you a bad review. So that's the first angle to go in. The second angle, and this is the one that we usually start with, is thinking about the price point for the client. So often, you will find a client that is not so bad that you will say, okay, it doesn't matter what price that they pay us, we don't want to serve them. Often it's a case that they're a bit more need a bit more management. They do have a weekly call with you after the service. There's always things that need changing. They want to try different cleaners. If that's the case, the first thing we'll say is there a price point where we would be happy to continue serving this client? They require more time, so we'll need to charge them a higher price. If that is the case, what is the price that we could charge them? And we can, this is something, as I said, that isn't black and white. This would be a conversation with your office managers to better understand the time required. But let's say your client is paying $200 for a bi-weekly service, and they are identified as one of your high maintenance clients. Let's say you think, okay, if we started charging them $250, then okay, they are high maintenance, but at that pricing we're getting more profit, so that profit is almost covering the additional time to a certain degree. So if that's the case, then we would go back to the client and say, we are putting through price rises. Your price will go from 200 to 250. The price will come into effect at the beginning of next month. Give them sufficient time. We usually will give clients a month's notice of any price rise. Your client will either say, no, that's too expensive, and in which case they leave. And again, there's no risk of a bad review, or a very minimal risk of a bad review. Or they say, yes, okay, we'll go at 250. And, in either case, it is sort of a win-win situation. You're putting it back on the clients. You, as the business owner, is making the decision that, serving this client at this price level with their expectations and their management is not worth your while at this pricing. So we increase the price, put it back to the client. The client either says yes, and so we get a higher profit, or they say no and they leave, and then they leave without a significant risk of leaving a bad review. Obviously, if the price hike that you're putting through is high, we're obviously living through a high inflationary environment at the moment, but let's say you wanted to, you said, rather than 200 a week, 300 was the level that you would need to do it. You would probably need to justify why the percentage price hike has gone so high. And with us in my cleaning business, if that price hike is so high, say we're going from 200 to 300, we would probably say, okay, we would tell the client that we don't have availability in the area. It's almost not worth going to the client and saying your prices are going up by 50%, because that might irritate them as well, and that might incite a bad review. And as I said, that is the last thing that you want to be doing. So as I said, to summarize, high maintenance clients, most of us know that high maintenance clients are bad news for our business. But the reason they are bad news is because they suck up your time, and they take more management. They tend to be less happy. They tend to refer fewer clients to you. So you need to get them out of your company. By freeing up that time, your company will start growing quicker. Your company will be easier to manage. Your office managers will have an easier time. That is really a key part of growing your business. The way that we do it, we review our client list every few months, every quarter, and then for any clients that we think are higher maintenance, are ones that would potentially we wouldn't serve at this pricing level, we then make a decision: do we put a price hike through, or do we simply sort of let them go? So I hope this video is helpful for you guys. As ever, if you've got any questions, just drop me a comment. If you found the video helpful and like to be notified of future ones going forward, then just click the subscribe button. Otherwise, I'll leave it at that. Have a great day and see you on the next one.